Just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what?
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Mike 52. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
From the 31, Haskins. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, nothing but room to run.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And now it's Rosen looking. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. third down, Rosen. And he's going to go down again. Chris Jones, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Let's go.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check. Lucky.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
New Mike 52. Oh, here we go.
On 3rd and 1, it's Haskins. And that will be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there.
A 49-yard attempt.
And Gano is going to miss this one left. Oh, it's no good for Gano. And this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
Check. Watch 54. Check. Fresno. Wahoo.
To throw is Rosen. On the right side, open is Gesicki. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run. It's Drake. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Dolphins 7, Panthers 0.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Check. 36.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They go play action with Haskins. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula's not working right now. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Now Rosen on 1st down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Alert! Watch the run.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. Now a short one to Gesicki. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Here's Rosen. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 37.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They want to go to the air again with Rosen. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 12-yard line. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Running, it's Drake. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a 13-yard line.
Squeeze down the middle. Mike 54. Let's go. Check. Hey, orbit.
From the gun, it's Rosen. That's complete right around the 8. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Jakeem Grant with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. Fielded about a yard deep. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now it's Rosen. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Chris Jones, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
3rd and less than a yard.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And it's caught by Parker. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's go, baby.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
He's coming. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Faking the give to Drake, now Rosen. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Christian Kirk, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Here I come again.
Now it's Haskins. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rosen off the play action. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They need a stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
3rd and long here for Rosen. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Middle.
They'll look to throw on 1st down to Josh Rosen. Now a short one to Gesicki. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Drake. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check. Watch 54. Come to my world. Bravo. Come to my world. Bang. Monday. 6 guys. Check. Hey, alert.
Rosen just getting the snap off and 1. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Check 13.
Now Rosen. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Christian Kirk with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 28-0. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
54. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Watch twist.
They'll run with Drake. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Given up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down. And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The play fake to Balaj. Now Rosen. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coages getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Now Haskins to throw it. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Haskins. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. On 1st down, Drake. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A Miami 1st down on a 14-yard pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
First try for the right arm of Dalton here. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick. Rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke.
Yep.
Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that.
They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That good for 19 and a first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. The Lodge. He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Taking a shot for Samuel. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Taking a shot for Samuel. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. He's going to look deep for more. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike spot 4. All day, baby, all day, all day, all day.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard brings up 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
This is McCaffrey. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.